All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Soul of the Skull. Back here again. It's been a little bit, but we're back yet again for another episode here in the summer months. Something we didn't really do at all last year. You guys weren't even really a part of the podcast yet. There was a period from like June to August where there was like no episodes because we had nothing to talk about. But guess what? That's not going to happen this year because we're going to find things to talk about and we're going to make rankings and I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to find things. So with that said, we've got a few different things. Today's kind of a random episode. There's just a lot of different like random things, but that's all right. So with that said, we are now past spring workouts. OTAs minicamp are done. Justin Jefferson got his extension. We made an episode about that. I believe that was the last one we made a couple of weeks ago. So now it's kind of the dead of the off season. There's kind of nothing going on until the end of July when training camp starts, but we've still got some things to do. And our first one is kind of minor news, but also not at the same time. The Minnesota Vikings have signed a player, so we can talk a little about that. They signed Jalen Redmond. He went to college at Oklahoma. He was a UDFA in 2023. Went to the Carolina Panthers, spent the offseason there, got cut at the end of training camp. Then he proceeded to play in the UFL, of which I watched 0 games of, but I know Sam O here, he was watching some games. He talked about the Power T the other day in our group chat. He was going on about that. So yeah, his name is Jalen Redmond. He's a defensive tackle. I think he was a defensive end in college, and it seems like he kind of moved from what I've heard. And a little about him, he from Oklahoma. He played in 4 games with the Arlington Renegades of the UFL. He recorded 18 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 4.5 sacks in just 4 games. So very good time with the Arlington Renegades. He also put up 14 sacks in college, had a forced fumble and 2 fumble recoveries as an Oklahoma Sooner. So it's not really a flashy name. People aren't going to know who it is, but this is also the Vikings' weakest position group. So could be kind of a sleeper, nice addition to this team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is more of a position of need. He's at the very least a training camp body. Definitely going to be an interesting story to watch as we get into training camp. And I think this is really one of the first UFL guys the Vikings have like brought in from the XFL or UFL or USFL or whatever. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Maybe he makes the practice squad. Maybe he finds his way onto the 53, but it's definitely going to be one of the interesting stories to follow in camp this year.
Wasn't John Parker Romo a UFL guy?
He was an XFLer, I'm pretty sure.
XFL.
He's the only player that came to mind when Sam said that is, I think, Romo, who's not even going to make it through training camp probably, but never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
As alluded to, a training camp guy, depth guy. I did actually watch him in college a little bit. Oklahoma in the Big 12, not a lot of defense was played during that time. Now they transitioned to the SEC, but yeah, I mean, in 4 games, 4.5 sacks, he's putting up numbers. That's really impressive. As Sam said, can maybe make the 53-man. It's a weak position group. We'll just see what happens. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah, I think it's tough to say because right now, defensive line, defensive tackle is a really weak group for the Vikings. If I had to put my money on anything, I think they're going to address it in free agency next year. When they have more money, I think maybe that's when they're going to look for maybe a splash move at a big boy on the inside that
they can
follow up the running backs.
Think they can lure Aaron Donald out of retirement?
No.
I mean,
that'd be great, though.
I doubt it.
That would be pretty awesome if they could, but probably not. Aaron Donald's still pretty young, too. In football years, he's not really, but he wasn't late to upper 30s like some players are.
He was still the best at his position.
Oh, yeah. He's only 33, so if he want to keep playing, he's probably still got some years on him, but whatever. So that's kind of that. We'll see if the Vikings make any other moves. They all coinciding with this signing of their defensive tackle, they also cut a no-name receiver that was just a UDFA. So
yeah, Devron Harper gets the boot. sad to see, obviously, as like a UDFA guy. I actually listened to a podcast where he was on it and was talking to one of my bike guys I've listened to about the Vikings. So kind of sad, but that's how the NFL works, man. Just
maybe sometimes players like request being released. And I'll explain this too, and this isn't in a bad way either. This happened during like training camp sometimes when players are going to be cut. If they know they're going to not make the roster, they'll kind of request to the team to be cut as soon as possible so that maybe another team will give them a chance versus why stick around with this team when you know you're not going to make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's the case here. It could be. I don't know. But just kind of an idea to keep in mind. These dudes are just trying to make a name for themselves in any way they can. And
trying to make a living.
All right. Yeah. They're just trying to make a living out there. And, yeah, my dad asked me the other day, there was a UFL game on TV. So he asked me the other day, he's like, who are these guys? Like, what are they? And I was like, well, they're like NFL-esque, like low-end NFL players that couldn't really make it anywhere and whatever. So then he was just like, why would they play in something like this at that point? So I was just like, I mean, it gets tape out there. Coaches know your name. And for some players too, you probably still just hold a passion for the game and don't want to just give it up. That's like, isn't it AJ McCarron, who's like however many years old, St. Louis Battlehawks quarterback, former Bengal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess there wasn't really a point to my story other than if anyone ever wonders why players play in leagues like the UFL or overseas or any of that, I mean, it gets your name out there and players probably still have a passion for the game. I never played, so I guess I don't know. Matt played baseball through high school. You played all the way through high school?
Yep.
Yeah, he did. Those are stories for another time.
Yeah, we don't want to bore our two listeners.
So that's kind of that. I think we can kind of move on from that. The next topic we haven't talked about this on an episode yet, but the Minnesota Vikings recently unveiled new uniforms. Are any of you guys by chance looking to purchase them?
Throw them on screen, Joel. Throw them on screen.
Throw them on screen. All right, I got to throw it on the graphic here. I'll find them.
Yes, sir.
Here they are. So those are the new uniforms the Minnesota Vikings have debuted. They're called the Winter Warrior. They got the white helmets, the white jerseys, the purple numbers, kind of silver accents. So with that said, what do you guys think about him? Sam Zahar, who's not on this podcast today, he's like to die for these things. He loves them. He's made it very vocal in our group chat. So that's his thoughts on him. Big lose away at basic training, so he hasn't shared his thoughts because we haven't heard from him in like months now. But what do you guys think about these?
I mean, I like him. I really like him. I think, I don't know, I've vowed for those like whiteout games to have white helmets for the longest time, and I think that's like it's just a simple, clean look. And I don't know if I'm gonna buy one yet, but we'll have to see. I just bought a JJ McCarthy jersey, so I'm not really in the.
I just bought one too, the classic one you showed.
Yeah.
I was able to cop Joel's free Jordan Addison one, so I mean I could be in the market, but
yeah. So
I'll take the free stuff when I can get them.
Nice, yeah.
I like the uniforms. In terms of who has the better whiteout, I would still give it to the Cincinnati Bengals with their white helmet with the black. It just looks too clean. But, I kind of agree with Sam. The white helmets with the winter whiteout do make it a nice touch, but it's also depressing that we only get to see them once this year.
I don't think they've announced yet when they're wearing them, or have they?
They have only announced, I think, week 15, if I'm not wrong.
I thought. Oh, actually, maybe that is right. I did know that.
But they didn't.
I thought maybe that was for the classic ones, but no, you're right. They did say that for week 15.
Yeah,
classic ones they haven't announced.
I mean, that's kind of sad. They are a pretty clean-looking jersey, but I mean, yeah. In terms of alternates, one of the better ones in the league.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure the classic jersey is still in the Vikings rotation. Like, I think they still wear it. They showed like a behind-the-scenes video that I was watching, like on the Vikings YouTube page or whatever, and on it they had like these uniforms, and in like some of the just like Vikings personnel's office, they still had like the classic like helmet in different places, and I feel like if they were to not use it anymore, they wouldn't be showing it anymore. But maybe. I'm pretty sure someone commented, or I saw this somewhere. I don't know if it was on Twitter or where it was, but the Color Rush jersey, the purple one with the gold numbers, that one's not on their website anymore. So it seems like they're probably not ever going to bring that one back. Well, can't say not ever, but looks like it's out of the rotation, which is fine by me because I'm not the biggest fan of that jersey. I like these jerseys. I feel a little weird about the numbers on them. They're just a little weird of a font, I feel like. The icicles are kind of cool. The helmets are really cool. I don't like the shoulders. I think the shoulders are kind of weird. I liked the gold and the purple shoulders. I thought those were nice on their current jerseys. How they have like the stripes a little. Maybe not everyone agrees with that. So these jerseys are good, and I'd have to see them in a game, and I think we all would have to see them in a game to really formulate an opinion. But I don't think they're like end of the world amazing to die for it like Sam Z thinks they are, but they are good uniforms. So that's kind of that.
I mean, at some point, you're just trying to find ways to nitpick small details on a jersey.
Yeah. I think not that this is what the Vikings did, but I think there's going to be a day where the NFL just like abandons the rule of like 2 helmet shells, 3 helmet shells. You can only have this many uniforms. Someday I think they're going to get rid of that because it just gives you more sales. The more helmets you have, the more jerseys you have, the more people that are going to buy it. So it's like what the NBA does really well. This is why they have 15 different uniforms because people buy them.
Mm-hmm.
And it works. So
just get the Oregon Ducks model out there. New jersey, new helmet every single game.
Year.
Oh yeah. So with that said, in other uniform news, the Baltimore Ravens also they unleashed this. I think they look really good. I don't know about you guys, but I think the helmets are sweet. The jerseys are sweet. The face masks are nice. The logo is nice. Everything about it's just nice. And yeah, I only made the video 15 seconds, so I can keep throwing it up there. But I don't know what you guys think about that. Matt shared some thoughts in our group chat yesterday or whatever day it was about him.
The only thing the logo just looks like a Madden generated, like when you're rebuilding a franchise. Like
you like relocate them?
Yeah, that's the logo that they come up with. I don't know. And then maybe it's just me trying to nitpick something. I think the gold and the purple is fire, but I don't know. The secondary logo, I'm just not feeling it. Again, maybe watching it into a game would tie in the whole uniform together. Maybe it'll change my opinion. But no, I think the secondary uniform's dope. I just think the logo is probably the worst part of it.
Matt, would you prefer if they put you see the Ravens, the BR, like the one they have on the shoulders?
I would just say go with the usual logo you have, to be honest.
Okay. I think that one would look pretty cool too if they put that like the shield kind of logo on it. I think that'd look kind of good.
It depends. Maybe try to pattern it more with that you have the Maryland state flag a little behind it and try to pattern that on a uniform, but then you're trying to look too close to the University of Maryland when you try doing that. But again, maybe it's just me nitpicking here. But I mean, besides the logo, I think it's probably one of the doper helmets in the league.
It took me all the way till now to realize the NFL is just slowly converting their way into City Connect uniforms. Is kind of what they're doing here.
Yeah. Because they're still holding the same like color rush type uniforms underneath with the gold numbering. It's just the helmet that changed.
Mm-hmm. Now, me and Matt have seen each other over the past couple of weeks, and we've talked about it, but we haven't talked about Sam O with this. Do you have any thoughts on the Twin City Connect uniforms?
I'm so torn on them. I mean, like, it just for me, it's so weird looking at those uniforms, seeing the Twins wearing blue, like that shade of like blue and yellow. I mean, I had someone tell me it looks like it's like the Milwaukee Brewers like AAA team uniforms or something. They're what they should be. I don't know. It's a cool concept, but I can't get over the blue and yellow. It just looks funny to me. I don't hate them, but I'm also not in love with them.
The yellow is what really throws me off on those uniforms. Even though when they try to explain why it's yellow, I feel like if they went red, That would have made the jerseys, I don't know, made them more dope.
Yeah.
And I know now we're going to get really off topic here, but the Dodgers unveiled the most Pop-Tart looking uniforms.
Those were.
Oh my gosh, those are. I thought the Twins ones were bad, but yikes.
I'll throw them up on screen if I can here.
I will say the Twins hats on the City Connect are dope. The 10,000 lakes on the side.
The hats are cool. I really like the hats.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do this here. So this is going to be, I'm just going to go like this here. You're just going to get to see my whole screen here for a minute. So this is the new Dodgers uniforms. I would have taken these pictures and put them in a video like I did with the other ones, but since this is on the fly,
think we'd bring them up, which is understandable.
Those
Try to blow up the image a little bit more.
The back looks really bad. I want to see if we can find a photo of the back. Are these their first ones that they had, the other ones?
Yeah, those were their first.
Because I knew they have two. I want to see if there's a picture of the back of the new ones. City Connect new. Dang it. That did not work like I thought. Do you guys see the back, how it's like the player's name is under the number?
I hate that.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is
right there, Joel. Go up a little bit.
I missed. Oh, here.
Kershaw, yeah.
Well, not exactly, but you get an idea of what it would look like.
Yeah. Not good. So that's kind of that there. So isn't there an NBA team that also kind of does that same thing where they have is it the Bucks? No. What team is it? There's one team though that has the name under the numbers. Or maybe it's just on one of their uniform sets.
There's been multiple teams that have done that. I think when the NBA did the sleeve jerseys, there was something that was along the lines of that.
Yeah, maybe I can't think of it. No, it's not the Bucks, but yeah,
there's even go back to the Dodgers. Like the bottom half of their jersey is just so bare because they put the logo, which is I think is fine, but my problem is they put the number up top instead of putting it down to the left side. Just try to cram it all up top.
I think at this rate, we're just slowly converting ourselves into a sports jersey review podcast where we just review jerseys and critique them. That's what we're trending towards.
Yeah.
But that's all right. So with that said, that kind of does it for like the current Vikings and NFL news. So we can move into the next thing I had. I had this idea yesterday that I thought would be kind of fun. Forgotten or irrelevant Vikings that have played on the team over like the past 10 or so years that everyone's just kind of forgotten about that played for the Vikings. So I was thinking, you guys can let me know what you think. I was thinking we can decide how many rounds and we can just do kind of a snake draft. And then we each have like a team and we see whose team is the most like irrelevant or forgotten overall. So how many rounds are we thinking here?
I don't know.
5 or 6, and then depending on the vibes, we can always keep going.
Okay. We'll start with 5 and see what we're thinking. I pre-wrote down like 10 players on this notebook paper this morning that I just thought of that I could use. So I have a small list that I started. So with that said, are we each going to keep track of our own? That might make this easier.
Yeah.
Everyone has a paper or notebook or even your computer. I don't really care. Keep track of your own team. And yeah, and we can go through it. So with that said, I'm going to say one of you two guys, somebody pick a number 1 through 3.
2.
How about we each pick a number actually?
Oh, I picked 2, so figure it out.
Okay, then I pick 1.
So I'm picking 3.
All right, I'm going to do a random number generator 1 through 3, and whoever it lands on gets the first pick, and then second pick, third pick. It landed on 3. Who was 3?
That's me.
All right, so Sam O is going to have the first pick. The second pick is number 1. That was me.
This is so rigged already. This is so dumb.
So Sam O is going to go first, followed by me, followed by Matt, who's going to be followed by Matt again, me, Samo twice in a row, and we're just going to snake just like that until we're through 5 rounds. And then we'll see where we're at after that. Did you guys come up with lists beforehand of just a couple players in mind?
I have a couple players in mind, and I really hope you don't take.
I looked through ESPN like before this, and I'm pretty knowledgeable on forgotten players. So
these are like players that we jokingly now refer to on the show as like Vikings legends. It's like these kind of guys. Players that we had hope for and everyone's forgotten about, or maybe they were relevant at one time and everyone just forgot they played here. I've got one player I feel like you guys forgot about, and we are free to Google during it if we need to think of more players. We can do that. We can find some guys. So, right. Yeah, you're the first pick, so you can lead us off with whatever you want, whoever you want.
Okay. Yeah. So this guy, I don't know if you guys are going to remember him. He is from the 2014 season. We were a lot younger then, obviously. And as I was scrolling through ESPN, I completely forgot this dude was on the team. He led the Vikings in tackles in 2015. He was a 5th-round pick in 2012. He led the Vikings in tackles for 1 year and then absolutely fell off the face of the earth. He's a safety. His name is Robert Blanton.
Okay.
That is my first overall pick.
That name definitely rings a bell. Wow.
I remember Robert Blanton when I played like Madden 13 on my Wii.
You are correct. That is a name I forgot about.
That was a good name that I've definitely forgotten about.
What a first overall pick.
That was a very good one. You could have gone to like the 4th round and I probably still wouldn't have gotten to him.
I would have never thought of that.
All right. I got my list here. I've got some players I feel like they could get taken off the board pretty quickly. Some players that might make it a little bit. All right. So this player, I'm going to go with this guy here. I feel like he might get taken fairly soon. This player is a former 1st-round pick by the Vikings. I believe it was 2018 he was drafted, but I could be wrong. He was a 1st-round pick. He played corner, one of those 1st-round corners that the Vikings have forgotten about. And I'll just lead it. I'll lead it with that. I believe he was number 21 on the team pre a Caleb Evans era.
Yep.
This player is Mike Hughes. He is my first overall pick.
He had a pick 6 in his first ever NFL game. You remember? I don't know.
And he did nothing after that.
Now, I think he's like a depth piece for the Chiefs or something.
I'll look him up, and
I'm pretty sure he plays for the Chiefs. I think he has a ring.
I remember he did play for the Chiefs. We'll see if he still does. Oh, he says he's with the Falcons now.
Maybe he's with the Falcons. Okay.
Good for him. So there you go. So Robert Blanton, Mike Hughes are 1 and 2.
Got a solid DB room right now
on our forgotten Viking player draft. All right, Matt, you're up. You've got the next 2 picks.
All right. Well, to first start, you guys had some good pulls, but I'm not going to go the corner route here with this first pick. This guy is a forgotten about player because I don't even think he took a snap on the team when he was under contract. I'm going Dalvin Tomlinson.
That is a good one. I definitely forgot about him.
Because I think he was around the COVID year when we signed him. He decided to not play that year.
No, you're thinking of a different. That's not Dalvin Tomlinson. That's Michael Pierce.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that would have been a good one, too.
All right. Well,
I'm pretty
there's
sure
another one, guys. Michael Pierce.
Didn't do a whole lot.
Dalvin Tomlinson played.
Dude, they were both good picks. Those both would have been Michael Pierce and Dalvin Tomlinson.
I guess Michael Pierce. We'll throw that one in the. I don't know.
Hey, you can make that your next pick.
No, because my next pick's gonna bring back a lot of memories. Okay. True Vikings fans remember this guy, the king of the 1-yard touchdown, Matt Asiata.
Oh man, that was a good one.
Sick last name too.
All right. This player, I'm looking at when this player played to see if he's kind of eligible for this game that we have here. I want to see what years he played in Minnesota. Okay, he was kind of around you with Matt Asiata sparked my mind on this player. I don't know if you guys will agree. You might disagree. This player played 1 year with the Vikings in 2014. He retired in 2016 after playing for the Bills. He's played for the Lions, Panthers, Vikings, and Bills. This player was a fullback for the Vikings. Does anyone know who this is?
He's a high school football head coach, Zach Line.
No. That's a good one too, though.
What's Jerome Felton?
Jerome Felton is who I was going to go with.
That's another good one. I think Zach Line was before Jerome Felton.
You saying Matt Asiata made me think of running backs and fullbacks. So then I pulled out Jerome Felton. All right, Sam O on the board with 2 picks in a row now.
Okay, we're gonna.
I think we can go more than 5 rounds. I think we can go a while thinking of relevant players.
All right. I think this is
fun.
We are going to take it to 2018 now. This player is a wide receiver. He was brought in, I believe, early in I want to say after week 1 or week 2.
Oh, I think I already might know where you're going with this one.
He ended up catching 5 touchdowns for this team, and it seemed like there was a stretch in the season where all he did was catch touchdowns. He caught a touchdown at a game I was at against the Dolphins, and I will never forget it. His name is Aldrick Robinson.
Dang it. As soon as you said wide receiver 2018, I thought, it's going to be Aldrick Robinson. Oh, that's a good one. He did have a great Linsanity run, though.
I think he got 2 touchdowns in that crazy Rams game. Or it was one of those games. I remember just a touchdown machine for half a season, and then just who knows what happened. All right, my next one, we're going to go to 2021.
I have a player from 2021. Don't steal it.
We're going on the defensive side. Another safety, Xavier Woods.
Okay, that's not who I was going to go with, but that's a good one too. The player I have, I believe, played in 2021. He is a corner, also on the defensive side of the ball. Duke Shelley.
He was 22, wasn't he?
Okay, maybe it was 2022. Actually, yeah, it probably was, but
Duke Shelley.
I feel like everyone just kind of forgot that Duke Shelley cooked for 5 games, and then that was it.
Then we got rid of him. Everyone got mad, and then he didn't even make the Raiders 53 man.
So that's my 3rd round pick, Duke Shelley.
All right, this next one, some nostalgia. Was a corner, but that's not how we remember him. I don't know if that gives a hint or not, or you just completely look lost.
I think I know who it is.
Punt return legend Marcus Sherrills.
Oh, I love Marcus Sherrills.
He almost took one to the house in that 2017 divisional round game. I remember that.
Would that have been the New Orleans one? Yeah.
Miracle game.
Would have been.
He got tackled by, who was it? Thomas Morstead, and that dude he broke his ribs on that tackle or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then he kept punting the rest of the game. So
that's just a warrior, true American, right?
Punters are people too.
The next one, I'm going to go running back. This one might seem forgotten, along within that Adrian Peterson era, before Jerick McKinnon. Toby Gerhart.
Ooh, backup.
Good one.
Backup running back legend. Although we did spend a 2nd round pick on him after we had Adrian Peterson, who was insane.
All right. I've got a couple good picks in the books here. I'm going to go with this player played. I'm really good at picking corners, but I've got another corner that has been forgotten about. I'm going to look on his Wikipedia page to see when this player played. He no longer plays in the NFL. He played for the Packers, Vikings, and Chiefs. He played for the Vikings in 2021. That was the only season he was with the Vikings. Then he also played for the Arizona Cardinals practice squad, but does not appear he played at all. Anyone have any idea who this player is? He was a slot corner, I believe. I was excited when they signed him because he had experience. Huge
Rashad Breeland.
It is Bashad Breeland, my 4th round selection.
Bashad Breeland played for the Packers?
Yeah, he did.
Huh. I thought he only played for the Vikings.
Someday we can also do a list of former Packers that have played for the Vikings or Vikings that have played for the Packers and go through a ranking.
Clemson Tiger legend Rashad Breeland. Wow.
I forgot he went to Clemson.
My 4th round pick, Bashad Breeland. All right, I'm pretty sure Sam is up next.
Okay.
The
I get 2, right?
Yep.
You guys always both get 2 when you go.
We're going to stick. I think I'm going to do 2 defensive picks here. This first one, he went to Michigan, so I remember him. He was a starting linebacker on the 2017 team. The best defense that had the best defense in the NFL, but I mean, if you ask a lot of Vikings fans if you remember this guy, they probably won't. But Ben Gideon, he was the starting linebacker alongside Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks.
That is a good one.
For one season. And then, oh my gosh, I can't remember who the second guy was. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to safety here. So I have 3 safeties on my team. This is someone. Oh my gosh, when was he on the team? It was in that like 2014, 2015, 2016-esque like era.
Mm-hmm.
He was a backup safety for a while. I personally will never forget the game where he tackled a streaker on the field, Anton Exum Jr.
That's a good one too. All right, my next selection. This player actually, I'm not going to give that hint away, but this player has played on 3 teams. He's played for the Jaguars, the Vikings, and also he played for the Packers, but only on their practice squad. And he never appeared in a game, I don't think. This player won the Biletnikoff Award in 2016.
Laquan Treadwell?
Not Laquan Treadwell. He's also on my list, but it was not Laquan Treadwell. This player
Who won the Biletnikoff? He played for the Vikings?
This player did. Did Laquan win that?
I don't think he ever did.
Okay.
He also was gross at Ole Miss.
This player went to college at Oklahoma. He won
D.D. Westbrook.
D.D. Westbrook
is my selection.
I forgot that dude won the Biletnikoff.
D.D. Westbrook.
Is him and Baker Mayfield. Was that Baker's time?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that was his time. Yeah.
Close to.
So the whole idea for this draft came to my mind like a week or 2 ago when I was on Snapchat, and you know how like people like can publicly post their stories. D.D. Westbrook showed up in my recommended, and I was like, oh man. And then I was like, I forgot about him. Then I was like, we could do something fun with this with like forgotten players. Because I was gonna say no one remembers D.D. Westbrook. So there we go. D.D. Westbrook off the board. I'm taking him.
All right. I'm gonna start building up my offense here. This was another receiver, most known for his time with an NFC North rival of ours. As Joel alluded to, a former Green Bay Packer, Greg Jennings.
Good one.
Didn't he was like super hyped up when he came here? Didn't he just like do absolutely nothing? If I remember.
Well, if he's a forgotten Viking,
yeah.
Let's put 2 and 2. I don't think he did much in being real, but I do remember when he came over here. And lastly, one of the most disastrous tenures in Vikings history. We were thin at this position. This was a young man who filled the spot and came in on Monday Night Football and laid an egg.
Oh no, that's
Josh
such a great
Freeman.
one.
Josh Freeman.
That game lives rent free in my head. I went back and watched. There was one time I was bored and I went back and watched like the highlights from that game, and it was. I mean,
What do you mean highlights? It's lowlights. Come on.
Didn't
now.
Marcus Sherrills have a punt return touchdown that game? I think that was
Okay,
like our
one
oldest source.
highlight in a magnitude of lowlights, but
Yeah, because
You're right.
I'm pretty sure we signed him like a week before, and then he just like started.
yeah.
All right. This next player I have in mind had a lot of hype at the time. I believe he was a tight end. He's still listed as a free agent on his Wikipedia page. He was the first European player to be selected in the NFL draft without playing college football.
Oh yeah,
You know who it is?
Moritz Boringer.
Moritz Boringer.
I don't think that dude did anything after we drafted. I remember people being very upset that we spent a 6th-round pick on him.
Yes, Moritz Boringer is my player. I believe he was like German or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's German. Let's look at his NFL. He was drafted in 2016 in the 6th round, won a 180 by the Vikings. He was with the practice squad, and then he was waived by the Vikings before the 2017 season. So he only made it 1 year here.
Jeez.
And then he was with the Bengals in 2018 and was with the practice squad all season. And then that was about it. So he didn't do anything. It's the moral of the story. So that's that.
Okay. So this player was with the Vikings for 1 season. He's a former Ole Miss receiver, but it's not Laquan Treadwell. He played in the 2015 season. He was very good on the Ravens and then came over to the Vikings and was not good. Mike Wallace, receiver.
Oh, man. Dude, I definitely forgot about Mike Wallace.
You took one.
He was
That's a good pick. That's
certainly
good pick.
a player.
He was
He was
definitely
a guy.
He was definitely a Viking of all time.
He was a
And
guy.
then I'm gonna go running back here. This was a running back. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure he was undrafted. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up his profile right now. Here he is. He was undrafted. He currently plays for the Panthers, but he came on the Vikings. It seemed like every time this dude got the ball on the field, he would do something with it. And then he finally got an opportunity to be the starting running back against the Packers on like a Monday Night Football game and just did nothing. Mike Boone.
That's a good one.
So 2 Mikes.
All right. That said, you inspired me. I am going to go. I was looking at a couple different players, and I had another player in mind from recently, but I'll go back to that guy in a little bit. I'm going to go with, I think, this player right here. I got to see a little more information about him. This player was a 4th-round pick by the Vikings in 2015. He played here for 3 seasons, and then it looks like he played for Oakland for a year, and that was it.
No way.
This was their left tackle. You know who it is?
He was a left tackle?
Left tackle.
Oh, okay, so it's not who I was thinking of.
Do you think Cordero Patterson?
No.
Because he played for the Raiders, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's
Okay.
still playing.
Well, yeah. TJ Clemmings.
TJ Clemmings. Oh my gosh, he was awful. Oh,
First offensive lineman pick.
TJ Clemmings. That dude sucked.
Another Viking of all time.
I'm not going to lie. I could do this all day. This is fun.
Yeah, he was certainly a Viking. Is it my turn?
Didn't you just go with the 2 mics?
Mm-hmm. So it's Matt.
All right. I'm going to bolster up our quarterback room here with another forgotten man.
Kellen Mond.
No,
Oh,
because this man is most known for what he did as a backup in New England. If you remember that season.
it's like on the tip of my tongue.
He came here in Minnesota. I want it definitely not the same time as Josh Freeman, but Matt Castle.
Matt Castle. Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
Have you looked up Matt Castle's college stats? Hold on. They're like hilarious. I'm pretty sure he had more interceptions than touchdowns in college.
Bro,
Let Tim Boyle.
Hmm?
That's Tim Boyle, but Matt Castle and Tim Boyle, they're the same person.
Tim Boyle. Wait, I swear this dude, Matt Castle, like, so he was a 7th round pick out of USC. This dude, yeah, he was a 7th round pick. He didn't even start for USC. His career college passing, he threw for 192 yards in college in 4 years and threw 0 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Matt Castle did?
Yes.
How did Burrow make it in the NFL?
He was a 7th round pick and he started for the Vikings for like a season. I remember looking that up. That was insane.
Wasn't that the year before Teddy Bridgewater came in?
Yeah.
Would that have? Yeah.
He started the year Teddy did come in.
Actually, you're right, because Teddy was a backup for most of that season.
Bridge, yeah.
His best season, obviously, was 2008, the year Brady was out with injury. He went 10-5 as a starter, almost 3,700 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Career threw 100 touchdowns to 82 interceptions per Football Focus. My next pick, I'm going to go cornerback. This is who I thought Joel was talking about earlier. Cordrea Tankersley. Clemson legend. Cordrea Tankersley.
Another Clemson guy. When was that? Was like what, 20?
That was around the 2015 era.
I think we could have a whole episode just on forgotten corners over the past 10 years that have played here. My next pick is kind of random.
Isn't it my turn?
I'm pretty sure.
No. Yeah, it's a snake draft. Never mind. I'm going crazy. Sorry.
That's all good. My next one is definitely not as good as that pick. This player still plays in the NFL. He's with the Patriots now. He's played for the Vikings, Bears, Steelers, and Patriots. He was drafted in the 6th round by the Vikings in 2019. He played here through 2021 when he went to the Bears. I'm just looking at his Wikipedia page. In 2019, he combined for a sack of Dak Prescott with Everson Griffin in their Sunday Night Football win. So that was that. He has 8.5 career sacks, 3 career forced fumbles, and a pass deflection. He is an edge rusher, defensive end. Armon Watts.
Armon Watts. I think I remember that sack, actually.
Dude, Armon Watts, I had like so much hype for him. I was like, dude, this guy could be good. And then didn't really do that much. But
no,
he just kind of sat there and clogged up the middle. And yeah. Oh, that just reminded me of a really good player I'm doing next round. Whoever is up next, Sam is up next.
So I was looking for I have to do a quarterback, and I was looking for potential quarterbacks to do.
Are you guys
I'm
actually
not
going by positions?
sure if this dude's gonna get remembered because
I unironically picked up 2 quarterbacks, but no.
Okay,
Sorry.
I haven't been going by positions. I just pick whoever comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to do quarterback, but so this guy, he was technically on the team for 2 years. He was a 7th round pick in, I want to say 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2020, out of Iowa. He's from
Nate Stanley.
Menominee, Wisconsin, where UW Stout is, where I used to go and Big Lou goes. His name is Nate Stanley.
Iowa legend. Nate
Iowa.
Stanley. Also,
Wow.
we did get a comment, but I don't want to.
I threw it on the screen earlier so that
I didn't see that. I was probably doing research.
you were probably on a different tab. That's okay.
This dude, man.
By the way, that is my roommate from college.
He's still your roommate.
Still is, but
Let's make it right.
he was my
we're,
dorm
we're
room.
current employees at the St. Cloud Rocks, but
Yes.
man, what a character.
Okay. This is another. He certainly was a Viking in history. He was on the team for 3 years, technically, I think. He was a UDFA out of Texas. He, I believe he got arrested leading to his release. If I'm not mistaken, this dude recorded an interception and a sack as a corner. He played in all 16 games in 2018. Holton Hill.
That's a good one. That inspired me of another name, too, that I'll use in the following round. So my pick last round of Armon Watts inspired another guy. Let me write down this player for my next round before I forget about him. All right, I got it. So for this round, this player currently is a free agent, but he hasn't retired. He was a 7th-round pick in 2017 by the Vikings. He played with the Vikings. He was drafted here and then waived in right before the 2018 season. Then he was with the Browns for 3 weeks, Cardinals, and then he came back to the Vikings in mid-season 2018, where he was with the team until the offseason of 2021. He's also played for the Giants, Browns again, Colts, Bucks, and Jets. So a lot of teams for this player. I really enjoyed watching this player a lot. Ifeadi Odenigbo.
Ifeadi Odenigbo.
Yes, love me some Ifeadi Odenigbo.
I completely forgot about him, and then I saw his Instagram post one. I don't remember when it was, but he retired. So.
Oh, he did. According to his Wikipedia page, he's still a free agent. So Wikipedia hasn't got the memo yet.
All right. This one might be a little controversial because he may not be classified as a quote-unquote forgotten player. But I'm going to throw it out there, and if you feel he's not, we don't have to count it. We're going wide receiver, 3rd down legend, Jarius Wright.
I love Jarius Wright. Jarius Wright and Jerick McKinnon, like my first 2 favorite players.
I think that's valid.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Jarius Wright.
We don't really have rules in this game. It's just kind of the players, and we mull about
unless
them.
you say like Justin Jefferson or something, or like Adrian Peterson.
All right. We're going to stick with receiver. This player might have one of the greatest touchdowns in NFL history, one of the greatest highlights in terms of NFL history, when he was with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Vasante Shenko.
No.
Or no.
Jerome Simpson.
That's who it was.
Oh, that's a good one.
For some reason, I thought he was the same person. I don't know.
All right, that was good. My next player, according to his Wikipedia page, is a free agent. He was a UDFA in 2015 by the Vikings. He played 6 seasons here. I'm just looking for a little information about him. It says he went to college at Virginia. This player was with the Vikings, 6 seasons. Then he played for the Philadelphia Eagles following the 2020 season. This player has also played for the Broncos and then the Eagles again. He was a partner to Harrison Smith. It is Anthony Harris.
Anthony Harris. That dude was solid for a while.
He cooked in 2019 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a big contract with the Eagles and didn't do much after that.
Am I allowed to do with someone that's currently on the team?
Sure.
I'm all ears.
Yeah. Do whatever.
This guy was he was brought in, I want to say last year towards the beginning of the season. Someone on this podcast made a prediction about him. I don't think it was correct. He's a running back. His name's Myles Gaskin. He's still on the team. Probably not for long, but he's still on the team.
He is a forgotten man, so we'll take it.
He is forgotten.
Okay. And then my second pick, I'm going to go to an offensive lineman because I have not yet. This dude was a guard. I think he was a guard center. I'm not sure if he's still playing. He played for the Giants and the Vikings. He's a guy that we started Drew Samia over for some weird reason, even though this dude was a lot better. He ended up starting and playing well. Brett Jones, center, guard. I believe he was on the 2020 Vikings, 2019, 2020. And I just remembered him.
Got it. That popped a couple more names in my mind that I can do in a little bit. All right, this next player was inspired by your selection of Myles Gaskin. This player is currently a free agent. He's a running back. He sometimes still works out at the TCO Performance Center, or maybe not there, but he works out in the Minnesota area, I should say. This player went to, actually, I'm not going to give away his college because I feel like that might give him away. He was a second-round pick by the Rams.
What year?
In 2020. He was with the Rams through 2023. He was traded to the Vikings.
Oh, Cam Akers.
Yes, Cam Akers. I think everyone forgot about him. Also because of his injury, but
his injury, and yeah, we brought in Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler's little, I don't know what you call it, little run.
Didn't we do an emergency episode when they traded for Cam?
Yeah,
Akers? Did we do it live? Because we just got done recording right before it. All right, there we go. How about we go? What if we do this? How about we go 15 rounds? Because that was my 11th pick.
Okay.
I've been writing down each of them. So how about we go 15 and say that's good? Maybe we can do it again another time. What do we think about that?
That works.
All right, so who's up next then?
It would be me.
Matt, do you know what pick number this is for you?
This would be my 11th.
Gotcha.
All right. We're going to get another defensive tackle in here, another guy that can clog up the lane. Sharif Floyd.
That's a good one.
He's on the Commanders coaching staff right now. So there's a little nugget about Sharif Floyd.
I thought maybe eventually someone was going to say Linval Joseph because he was really good here, but people just kind of forget that we had a Linval Joseph era.
He was, I mean, he was on that team for a while though, and he was
he was a good player.
That fumble recovery touchdown against the Eagles.
That was like
he was rumbling
right there.
And then there was that infamous picture of him with like
the
oxygen mask.
The oxygen mask.
It was like our revenge game.
This one stretches the parameters because this isn't since 2014. But to be honest, I'm running out of players.
It's all right.
This is a punter.
Jeff Locke. Nope. Chris Cluey.
Chris Cluey.
That's a good one.
Didn't he sue the NFL over something? Or did he sue the Vikings? He sued somebody over something.
He could have, but now he's writing for the Star Tribune. And Also writes
Oh.
for NBC News. So
I
he made a
swear he
career out of
sued. I think
himself.
he sued the NFL over something. Or that might have been Jeff Locke. There was a punter that sued the NFL over something. Ooh, I have a.
Okay. This next player that I've got, I believe it's my turn, right?
Yep.
Okay. This next player I've got was a first-round pick by the Lions in 2012. He played for the Lions from 2012 through 2016, and then the Minnesota Vikings 2017 through 2020. He is from South Dakota. I'm just looking for a little more information if I can find some. He also played for the Bengals after playing for the Vikings. And then he's also been with the Bears and Patriots. And he doesn't have retirement listed in here, but he's anywhere on here, but he's not on a team. My player is an offensive tackle, Riley Reef.
Riley Reef.
Wow.
Didn't we pay him a bunch of money? I swear he came in on like a big contract.
It was after his first run rookie contract, so maybe. I'll look it up. I got his Wikipedia page up, so we're gonna see if we can find any contract. He had a 5-year, $58.75 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. So that divides out to what?
So I guess it's not
12
big.
million, 11, between 11 and 12 million per year.
I guess the tackle market too wasn't as
At the time, though,
crazy.
that would have probably been a pretty good amount
Yeah.
back then. So there we go.
So I don't have a special teamer on here yet, and I think I have to. And this dude is someone that I personally forgot. We've had a bunch of punters on this team that I forgot about, but this one I really forgot about. He was our punter for, I want to say 2 seasons. Hold on, I'm pulling it up now. So he's with the Denver Broncos, the Browns, and then us for 2019 and 2020. Britton Colquitt.
Whoa.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I got my final 3 selections ready. I know who they're going to be.
And
Until
then
I take one, then you got to change it.
Yep.
so as bad as I wanted to do 2 punters, I'm just not going to. The next person is an offensive lineman. He currently runs a football podcast called The Offensive Line Committee, co-hosted with another former Viking.
Jeremiah Searles.
Yep. And this player is Alex Boone.
Good one. All right. My next player is tied to my last player that I just did. This player is currently listed as a free agent on Wikipedia. He went to school at Oregon State. He was a UDFA with the Broncos in 2012. He's played with 6 different teams and started 2 Super Bowls, according to Wikipedia here. He's played for the Broncos, Bucks, San Diego Chargers, the Vikings. He played with the Vikings 2013, and then he was cut right at the beginning of 2014, but he comes back. He was also with the St. Louis Rams, Carolina Panthers, Vikings again, starting in the offseason 2017 through the offseason 2019. So 2 seasons. And he's also been with the Giants, Chiefs, and Jets. If
Tom Johnson?
No, but that's a good one too. If Matt knows, maybe he doesn't. So me and Matt have some relatives that live in Eagan. This player used to live down the street from them when he was with the Vikings.
I remember. I don't remember the name, but I do remember.
When he was with the team, he lived down the street from a cousin of ours that lives in Eagan, Mike Remmers.
Mike Remmers, that's who it was. Yeah, he started for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Not too long ago. I think it was the Super Bowl they lost to the Bucks, but I could be wrong.
I'll see when he played for the Chiefs. He played for the Chiefs. He signed there 2020.
Yeah, he started that Super Bowl. I think he started in 2022 too.
Then, so he signed a 1-year deal. Then he re-signed in 2021 again. and he was their swing tackle, but didn't make it through the season because then he went on their injury reserve. So what's the other Super Bowl he played in then? Because it said he played in 2, but only one was with KC.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, it was the Panthers. When he was with the Panthers.
That's right.
When he was with the Panthers, that was when they made the Super Bowl.
That's another forgotten moment. The Panthers going to a Super Bowl.
That is very forgotten.
All right. I got 2 players at the same position because I'm not like Samo. I want to take as many players as I possibly can. Back when we had a little kicking fiasco, we couldn't find a kicker. We ended up with this guy who's most known for his tenure with America's team, Dan Bailey.
I thought you were gonna say Dan Bailey when you said they were looking for a kicker. I was like, oh, Dan Bailey probably. Forgot about him.
He was good for like a year, and then he fell off the face of the earth.
This next one we know all too well. We drafted this young man, and Mike Zimmer gave up on him too early. And now he's out. He's one of the better kickers in the league, Daniel Carlson.
Good one. All right.
2 games.
2 games.
And I've got 2 selections remaining. My first one here is going to be a punter. I have no special teamers, so we're gonna go with a punter here. I think Sam O might have been thinking about this guy, but maybe not. Maybe he was thinking about someone else.
Definitely was. I think I know who you're gonna say.
This player is Australian.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna give any more information. This player is Jordan Berry.
I was thinking about him, and then I'm not going to draft him, but Matt Wiley, too.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you said, I don't want to do another punter because you were like, I already have one or whatever, I was like, okay, I think he was thinking about Jordan Berry. And he said that.
Good pull.
Jordan Berry got beat out by Ryan Wright.
Ryan Wright.
I think that was 2 years ago now.
I know. I'll never forget. I went to training. I'll never forget it. I went to training camp, and Ryan Wright was wearing like number 56 or something.
66 was his original number.
66, yeah.
That was his original number.
And he comes out, and he's like the first guy out there, and he's like punting. And I'm like, why is an offensive lineman out there punting? Because he looks so much like an offensive lineman when I first saw him. But he ended up making the team. So, fun little story.
I believe these are Sam O's final 2 selections because after your first one, I think then it's the final or 15th and final round.
Yep. So this dude's a tight end. I feel like I could probably name a lot of backup tight ends that played for this team. But I'm gonna go with this one. He played. Hold on, my computer's geeking. All right. He played for the Vikings for 5 years. From 2012 to 2016, he played for the Giants for 3 years until 2019, and I believe he is retired now. He was a 4th-round pick by us out of USC. Was always a serviceable backup, Rhett Ellison.
That's a good one. I thought you were going to say Kyle Rudolph until you said USC because I know he went to Notre Dame, but he played for the Vikings and Giants, so I thought, oh, it could be Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph played for the Bucs too, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. He played for the Giants, though, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
He did, yep.
Let's see, my last pick. Where do I go with this? I actually have no idea. Here. We're going to shoot it back to 2016. I guess we're going to stay in 2016. This player is a wide receiver. He played for the Vikings, I want to say for a couple. How many years did he play for the Vikings? Okay, he played for the Vikings for 3 years and has not played for another team since. He was here from 2014 to 2016. I believe he was he was not a UDFA. He was a 7th-round pick by the Packers, but never took a regular season snap for them. He came here in 2014. He had one season where he had like 500 receiving yards and then didn't really do much the rest of the year. Charles Johnson.
Good one. Okay. my final selection is going to be a player that currently still plays, but not in the NFL, at least not according to his Wikipedia page. He plays for the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian football. Yes, he plays for the CFL. Played college football at Marshall. He was a UDFA in 2018 with the Ravens. He has played with the Ravens, Vikings, Jets, Bengals, Bills, Panthers, Washington, Jaguars, and then 2 teams in the CFL. This player was with the Vikings for 20 days. This player was the Vikings traded a 5th-round pick to acquire this player from the Ravens.
Corey Vedvik.
Corey Vedvik, the kicker and punter, lasted 20 days. So that rounds out my draft board, closing it out with Corey Vedvik.
It's an honor to have the last pick. This has been one of the best times I've had on this podcast, to be completely honest. Because, you know, you've seen the TikToks where it's like guys could go on for hours naming obscure players. And that's exactly what we've done. And I've had a grand old time. So, Joel, thank you for this suggestion.
Me as well. I had a lot of fun doing
No, this was really good.
That was a good game.
Now, there were times where I was Googling players while you guys were talking, so I might have missed this one. So if I did steal this one, please let me know. He was during our time. Free safety, Andrew Sendejo.
Andrew Sendejo.
I thought about that. Earlier I just Googled 2016 Vikings, and I saw him, and I thought about using him, and that's a
He had
good
an
one.
interception in that 2017 divisional round game too. And then he left with a
Sendejo.
concussion. I remember that.
I always saw him in Madden because he always was. Him and Harrison Smith would always just have obscure hit stick abilities in Madden.
Harrison Smith's hit stick in Madden is
That was brutal.
still crazy to this day.
Dude, you just don't throw it to his side of the field because you know when your guy gets tackled, he's going to fumble the ball. It's like when you now in Madden, because I was playing yesterday. It's like when you throw the ball in the general direction of Fred Warner, he's going to jump 50 feet in the air and he's going to catch the ball. It's like defies gravity, defies the law of physics. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense.
So there you have it, folks. That was our snake draft of forgotten Viking players from the past 10 years. Lots of good names that we've forgotten about. I'll just share the other couple names I had on my list, since I had a list thought of and I actually didn't even use a lot of them. Some of the other ones I had, Laquan Treadwell, who was mentioned, Kellen Mond. I feel like overall people just kind of forget about the Kellen Mond experience that we had.
We all want to. So
Mac Alexander.
Mackenzie Alexander.
Cam Dantzler, who was really good, but people have forgotten about the Cam Dantzler experience. Jeff Gladney, who had the potential, just didn't work out.
Rest in soul.
Terrence Newman. I saw him, I Googled him earlier because I thought about using him, then never got around to it. And the final one I had, offensive lineman, 3rd-round pick that was cut the same year, Wyatt Davis.
Wyatt Davis.
Those are the other players I had listed that I wrote down this morning when I was thinking of some. So that was our draft, folks, of forgotten Viking players. So hopefully in the future over these summer months when there's not much else to talk about, we can just think of more random drafts. We can do random football snake drafts, random snake drafts about anything. That was kind of fun. So I think we can incorporate that in more in the future. But with that said, we transition over to predictions now to close out this episode. A few things have come off the board as can be seen. First one was from me. I said Royce Lewis would hit a home run in his first game back. And because he's Royce Lewis, he indeed hit a home run in his first game back. Dude, he's played in only like a couple days ago. I saw the stat. He's played in like 12 games and he's hit like 7 home runs or something.
He's averaging a home run like every 6 games in his career or something.
It's wild. He's like right now over the past like month, or I think in the month of June, he's averaged. They said this on the broadcast last night. Yes, I did stream East the game because it was a good game, and I was like, all right, I kind of want to watch it for once. So I did. And Corey Provis was saying something about in the month of June, he's averaged like a home run every 6 at bats. It was something like that, like every 6 or 7 at bats.
Yeah, 6 or I think it was at bats because I watched the game. I watched the game last night too.
Yeah, it's
walked
crazy.
it off again.
So
Carlos Santana.
But no one goes off in June better than Kyle Schwarber.
dude, he's on my fantasy team, and it's like a nightly occurrence. I get a notification saying Kyle Schwarber hit a home run.
Just insane.
So that's that. Sam Z's not on here today. He said Celtics would win the NBA Finals in 7, and they did.
They won in 5.
Unsurprisingly, they won it in 5. Luka looks. I didn't actually watch much of the finals this year, to be honest.
It was kind of boring.
Normally
Once they
I
went
do.
up 2-0, I knew it was over, and I stopped.
Normally I do, but this year I just didn't have that much interest in it. But I think it's because everyone knew the Celtics were going to blow the doors off, probably. So I didn't really watch much. But from what everyone was saying, Luka's he's just unathletic. And he is. I mean, he's really talented. I'll give him that for sure. But he's just, oh man. And just watching his defense, it's bad.
I think it's also, I mean, the Mavs kind of came back down to, because for some reason in the Wolves series, they were just making everything, and they kind of came back down to earth.
Maybe they just had the Wolves experience, like the same thing with the Wolves had with the Mavericks, how they just went off such an emotional high in the Denver series, and then they just had nothing left in them anymore. It seemed like maybe that's the same thing that the Mavericks had after the Wolves series.
Yeah.
Could have been the same, but whatever. I would like Luka more if he didn't complain every 15 seconds.
He did. What I did notice, though, in games 4 and 5, he didn't complain as much. I don't think, if at all. But he was really better after that game 3 fiasco.
Maybe you guys agree, maybe you disagree, but this is one thing that I separate with Luka from Jokic. They're both really talented, and I like watching Jokic play because A, he's so talented and he's such a good player, but B, to me, he doesn't really complain about calls. He does sometimes, but he doesn't a lot. He's not like super bad with it.
Yeah.
He just kind of puts his head down and keeps playing because he knows that if he complains, it's not going to change the call. Whereas Luka doesn't give up and cries about it every time, and it gets really annoying fast. So maybe some people agree with that, maybe not, but that's just what I have. They're both really talented, but Luka would become a lot more likable if he just put his head down and kept playing the game and actually played defense and didn't just stand there like James Harden, like a deer in the headlights. Whatever. So that's that. As we keep looking over, Matt had one come off the board. It was another NBA Finals prediction here.
Yeah, I said Dallas would win in 6, and clearly didn't happen.
Yep.
Oops.
So that was not it. That was it. Sam O had no predictions. We look over here at the standings. I'm still in the lead. I've had a crazy start to this season. My Linsanity run has gone wild.
Earth, okay.
My Linsanity run has gone wild. Maybe I will cool back down eventually. Second place is currently Sam O. He's got a third of his. Followed, well, actually, no. Big Lou's in second, but he's only had 2 come off the board, so too small of a sample size for Big Lou here. And then followed by Sam O, followed by Sam Z, and then Matt having a very bad start to the year. We could associate that with a Vikings player. Who's a Vikings player that had a horrible tenure with the team? I'm just looking through my list of players that I wrote down who had a really bad time that we can associate him with.
Dakota Dozier.
He's had a Dakota Dozier-esque start here. That would have been a good one too, as a forgotten player.
Last year was not bad. I'm just having a bad start to the season, okay?
He's taking
Aaron Judge had a bad start, and look where he is now. Probably heading to the IL with a broken hand.
Dakota Dozier would have been a great player for forgotten Vikings in our draft. I forgot about him. I don't forget about Oli Udoh, but I forget about Dakota Dozier. All right, with that said, we move over here. We've all got our predictions.
Just rip them off.
We'll rip them off. All right, my first prediction, for the first time ever, I'm making a hockey prediction. The Florida Panthers will win the Stanley Cup final in 7 games. They went up 3-0 in the series. Edmonton's won back-to-back games, so it's 3-2 now. The series is heading back to Edmonton, Alberta. I think that the Oilers are going to win Friday night, but the Panthers are going to win it at home when it matters most in Game 7. So there we go. We'll see what happens. Following that, my second prediction, I kind of forgot what it was because I made these a while ago. Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth will not make the Vikings roster.
Ooh.
Here, Lewis Cine
Ugh.
and Andrew Booth will both not make the Vikings roster.
I can see Booth not making it, but I don't think Scene gets cut.
I considered
Seems too
making that.
talented, man.
I considered making that prediction like 2 years ago or 2 weeks ago when we talked about those guys, and then I was thinking of them this morning. Oh, what can I make? Well, we're gonna make it this time. And to close it out, my third and final prediction: this season, the Vikings will go undefeated when they wear their alternate uniforms. I believe they went 0-2 last year.
Yeah.
They played the Bears and they played the Bucks and lost both games. Well, this year in the white ones and the classic ones, if they wear those, they will go undefeated. They will not lose in those uniforms.
Real quick, what did you say? How did you say the Vikings were going to do Week 15 versus the Bears? Because that's when they're going to wear them.
I think I had it as a win. Where is it? Here, this one. I had a win.
Okay.
We had a 2-2 split on that game. So I had a win there. Well, not that one. This one. So there we go. There's my predictions. Kind of random and all over the place, but that's kind of what it is at this time of the year.
That's how mine are as well.
Well, Sam Z and Big Lou aren't here, so we'll follow it up with Matt's predictions.
So basically everything I say, the opposite will happen. So my first prediction, Edmonton's going to do the impossible. They're going to come back from 3-0. They're winning in 7. First time this has happened since like the 1940s. They said on the broadcast last night. It has happened before in the NHL. And it's going to happen again in 2024. Connor McDavid's just too good.
I'm very impressed that Matt made a hockey prediction on here.
Screw you, dude.
No, it's fact.
Hold on. We go to St. Cloud State. Okay,
I should have said more specifically. I'm surprised you made an NHL prediction.
Hey, now.
You don't really watch the NHL.
Correct. I don't. But the Stanley Cup playoffs I actually do because it's fun.
It is good. That is good hockey.
Playoffs are always fun.
And the Minnesota State Boys High School Hockey Tournament.
Also good hockey.
My second prediction, Mahomes will throw over 5,000 yards this season. He's only done it twice in his career. The second time he did it, he won MVP. He didn't win MVP the first time he did it. But
what's the single season record for most passing yards in a year?
Doesn't Peyton still have it?
I just
think
googled
it is.
Peyton Manning with Denver had 5,477 yards
2014.
in 2013.
13, yeah, that's
close.
right. 14, yeah.
The college record, though, is Bailey Zappi.
Yeah. Wasn't it 4,000?
5,833 with Western
Holy
Kentucky.
smokes, man. Imagine him doing that in the Big Ten. That's unheard of.
Apparently I have a buddy that goes to WKU. Apparently that dude's like an absolute legend there.
He threw like over 60 touchdowns, too.
Yeah.
I don't think he broke Joe Burrow's record, but he threw over 60. Anywho, my last prediction, we're going to the Diamond. The New York Yankees are going to win the World Series. Given my track record, how this season has gone, Yankees fans, I'm sorry, but I had to do it.
With their 28th World Series victory.
Or they'll probably choke in the ALCS or the ALDS.
Imagine the Twins got to
They're going to choke to the Kansas City Royals in the power of friendship.
Imagine the Twins knocked out the New York Yankees in the
day we beat the Yankees in a playoff series is the day I'm dead.
That would be crazy if the Twins knocked out the Yankees.
I would actually cry.
That would be awesome.
Royce Lewis just better be healthy. That's our only hope.
We have Royce. We have a chance.
I believe Boston, that was their 19th, wasn't it? Or 18th?
18th, I think.
They're catching up to the Yanks. They're getting there.
Hold on, I do want to point out one thing. I said it wrong. in the 2 years Mahomes threw for over 5,000 yards, he won MVP both.
Yeah, I
those
was gonna
years.
say.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he won MVP both years.
It'd be pretty dumb if he didn't win MVP if he threw for 5,000 yards. He didn't win the Super Bowl the first time, is what I think my brain was trying to tell me, but
Which
I didn't
years?
listen to it.
Which
That was
year
it.
did he do it?
2018, his first year as a starter. Then they lost to Tom Brady in New England in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, and then did he do it last year?
He did it in 2022,
That's right.
the year they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Haven't they
Lamar
made?
won MVP last year? I'm stupid.
Haven't they made it to the AFC Championship every single year he's been?
Every
a starter?
single year he's been a
So
starter.
every year except his rookie year. Then
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. JJ McCarthy time. It's his turn.
Okay. I have 3 different sports in my 3 different predictions. So I have actually one that's very similar to Joel's. Either Lewis Seen or Andrew Booth will not make the Vikings 53. Except I'm not even gonna do the Lewis Seen part because I'm pretty confident he'll make it. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna say
Andrew Booth will not make the Vikings 53-man roster.
that's what I'm gonna say.
Matt will weep if Andrew Booth does not make the roster.
Because you know what's going to happen? He's going to go somewhere else and he's going to become a Pro Bowler. We all have seen this story play.
He's gonna go to like
These NFL script writers aren't,
He's gonna go to the Chiefs and then cook.
honestly.
All right. Wait, what? What the heck? Okay. My second prediction got messed up somehow, but I'm just gonna do this.
Wasn't me.
I know. I think it was me. So, I have a hockey one as well. I've been watching the Cup Finals as well. I'm gonna say Panthers in 6. So I think they win. Is it Sunday or
They play Friday.
Friday?
And then if it goes to game 7, it's Monday.
Yeah. So
If it goes Sorry.
their Panthers are gonna win in Edmonton.
I was going to say, if it goes to 7 games, I'm going to be gone all of next week, so I'm not going to update the spreadsheet. But if you guys want to, you can. Just make sure to change the numbers.
If
you
I
do it.
remember, I will.
So if it goes to 7, someone else will have to do it, unless you want to wait, because I won't be back till next week, Saturday then.
And I got a little soccer prediction coming at you guys because I am actually a pretty avid soccer watcher.
Euro 2024 is going on.
The U.S. men's national team will lose in the quarterfinal of the Copa America tournament. So Copa America and Euros are happening right now. They're the 2 biggest tournaments outside of the World Cup in soccer. I watch the U.S. men's national team quite a bit. I've watched almost every game. And I think they will make it out of their group stage. They might even win it, but they're going to lose in the quarterfinal. So that's my final prediction.
Got it. So there we go, folks. There's our predictions. There's our standings. And yeah, lots of good predictions. Also lots of good non-football predictions in hockey and soccer and pretty much about every direction you can go. And baseball. We touched pretty much every sport today.
Good catch. Good catch.
We did touch pretty much every sport today. So that is that. I think that about does it for this episode. Good episode. Talked about lots of random stuff. Good random draft. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do it again with another topic sometime too. We can find something. Find a good topic and maybe do it again in a couple weeks. If you guys want to do one next week, you can feel free. I just won't be here. So
yeah, I can't next week. I'm out of town.
Gotcha. All right. Otherwise, Matt and Sam Z, they can whip up 2-person.
Yes,
we have a big. When is Big Lou back? Are we gonna do a Big Lou return episode?
He said beginning of August is what he.
So we still got a while.
That's what he
It's a little bit.
He said beginning of August is when he'd come back. So it'll be a bit, but we will welcome Big Lou back with open arms. We'll welcome back all of his misspellings and all of his mispronunciations.
He might not be big anymore. He might just be Lou.
He might just be Lou now, normal Lou. But we'll see.
I mean, he still is like 6'4", so you can still kind of probably
tall Lou.
Tall Lou. So that does it for this episode. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the randomness of this one because we all did. and we'll do it again sometime soon. Otherwise, that does it for this one. We'll see you guys again in probably 2 weeks from now, unless we have major breaking Vikings news over the next 3 days. But what would be major breaking? Nothing. So that's it. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon, I should say. Peace out. And as always, SKOL Vikings. We'll see you guys again.